What's up guys, back with another video, and today we are finally going to be installing the APR cold air intake on the Audi S5. I will say before we get started, go ahead and subscribe, drop a like and leave a comment below, and we'll get started with the video. So I'll give you a little look at what we've got here. We've got the carbon fiber intake cover there, we've got the APR filter there, as well as the 034 Motorsports inlet tube. For some reason they don't make the inlet tube with this kit, at least for the 4.2, so I had to pick up the 034. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get in the garage and then we can get this thing started. Alright guys, we've now made it outside, so I'll go ahead and get the car pulled out a little bit, and I'll give you a before clip of how it's sounding. That way you can see the difference between the two. So yeah, let me get this car pulled out and I'll show you that. So as I'm sure you can tell, or as you can hear, it's not too loud from as far as engine noise. So hopefully this will make it a little bit louder, but I'm not too sure it will. Just because it's an NA engine, so naturally aspirated 4.2 liter V8. So I'm not really too sure it's gonna make too much more noise, but carbon fiber looks cool, so if it doesn't do anything, then it still looks cool, so. But I'll go ahead and get this hood opened. So I know the first thing we need to do is get off this radiator cover. So it's got one bolt here, another bolt there, another bolt there, and then one more bolt over here. So 4 bolts total, and then we'll remove this cover right here and go from there. Right, so to remove these top screws, you'll need a T25. So we'll go ahead and get those off. And just put those somewhere where you won't lose them. All right, and then the next thing you gotta remove is this bolt here and this bolt here on the other side, and that will pull off this intake scoop. So we'll go ahead and start doing that. And that is also gonna be a T25. Lift that out of there. And next you just gotta push down on these little tabs at the top, and you can pull out the connector there. All right, so now we've got to loosen up this screw here holding in the intake tube. That way we can disconnect this MAF sensor and get everything disconnected. Then we've got this bolt over here on the side that we need to remove. So now we got the intake box out, so we just need to take off these 7 bolts up top because we have to reuse the bottom part of this with the new one. So we'll go ahead and get this popped off, and then we'll start working with the inlet hose. So I believe there were 6 bolts. Had one here, here, and then there's one also back here that you got to get out of there. There's the original filter. I guess they had a K and N on here, as you can see there. It definitely needed to be changed. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the inlet tube here. So first you got to start with pulling off the plastic cover there. To release this little clamp here. Right now I'm kind of struggling to get this little clamp off of here, but everywhere I've looked it just says pull them off, so I'm gonna try to pull it off and hopefully I don't break it. so finally got off the stock inlet tube. You see it has this like accordion style kind of thing on there, which definitely muffles it, and these are known for collapsing and stuff once you get more power. Definitely plan on boosting this down the road, so check me out later on and you'll find that. This is the new intake tube. It's made out of silicone. It doesn't have any of those accordion style vents there, whatever you want to call it. So it should definitely give us a little bit more sound, and it should be a lot more solid for the long run. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pre-install the hose clamps. That way we don't have to worry about trying to struggle once it's already on there. Got it all plugged back up and tightened down, so that is the new inlet tube. We'll go ahead and figure out how to get the APR filter and carbon cover on there. Stay tuned, and I'll show you how she's sounding and looking when I finish up. Now we just got to connect the MAF sensor to the new carbon fiber cover. So basically they provided hardware, just 2 bolts. So you just want to line it up that way. The 2 original bolts from the MAF sensor line up with the ones that they have in here. And then you'll use the hardware that they provided to tighten it up and to lock it down. Alright, so now I'm going to try to do this with one hand, but we got the bolt that they provided. Screw it in there. Maybe. So I think I was doing it wrong. So basically the MAF sensor is going to go on the outside of the inlet box, which seems obvious. And then I'll get these screws put in there, and then we should be able to bolt it up and hook everything on there. We're kind of using a 10mm socket here to get some more leverage.
Whoa.
Hey, the Mario!
Is it recording?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so now we're gonna got the MAF sensor screwed on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these 2 bolts screwed in there. And like I said, this hardware was provided with the kit. These are 10mm bolts. That's the right direction. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Now we're going to try to get this filter onto the sensor. So now I'm going to connect back up the stock bottom half of the airbox because we have to reutilize that. So now I'm just connecting the hoses back up, so that way we can get everything hooked back in. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the airbox mounted back inside of the car. Guys, so clearly it's dark, but that carbon cover did not work. It was a fail, so I'm messaging them to try to see what we can work out. But I'm gonna go and get the stock airbox and all that stuff put back together, and then I just went ahead and got a new filter for it. So we just got the intake tube installed, so I'll show you how that's sounding. That's what's gonna do the bulk of the sound anyway. So I'll get this put back together and I'll show you how that's sounding. Alright guys, after some distress and some anger, I found that there's a triangle flap that I need to remove. Basically this part, it was keeping the inlet box from going over it. So I'm gonna use a flathead and try to get this off of here. This is my fault. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All his fault.
That's all I'm saying. All right, well, user error. That's all I gotta say. Seems to go on as it's supposed to. But I'm gonna get these screws and start trying to button this up and see if it looks like it closes up correctly. This is the little triangle. This is the stupid little triangle that cost me hours of grief. This little triangle. I even went and bought a filter that doesn't even fit. I done sent emails to APR, man. Like I done contacted everybody, and it was this little triangle who needs to be contacted. All right, so now we're gonna get these screws back in here, hopefully, please. Plug the mass sensor back in. We just gotta put the radiator cover back on there. And make sure there's nothing left in the engine bay. And then double check, make sure everything's connected. And then I'll have to show you how it sounds in the morning. Like I've said before, window cleaner works for everything. All right, guys, as you can tell, it is another day. Got some more sunlight. So I ran into an issue getting the carbon fiber cover on there, which it is looking great now that it's in there. But basically, this part wouldn't go on because of this little triangle. So basically, I missed a step when I was reading the instructions. And you have to pop this off in order for that to fit over. But needless to say, I got that figured out and I got to put it on there. So this is what she's looking like now. It looks great. Got the 034 Motorsports intake tube on there as well. So it's a great combo. I don't know if it's placebo effect or if I'm really feeling something, but I feel like there's a little bit more throttle response. I don't really notice too much more of a noise difference, but I'll go ahead and give you some revs and show you how that's sounding. So. I'm really not too sure if you can tell a difference. I'll put the clip side by side to kind of see if there is a noticeable difference, but it looks a lot better. It should give a little bit better airflow with that 034 Motorsports intake tube on there. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I didn't really have too many issues besides that little hookup with the triangle-shaped piece there on top of the stock intake box. But once I got that figured out, it went on pretty quickly. I need to go ahead and put the APR sticker on there just because it's APR, just to flex. But other than that, nothing I can't complain about. So I'm definitely happy with it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.